Sometimes dead is better.
What's happening, everyone? Thank you for joining us for a very special edition of Give Me Back My Horror Movies, the podcast. I dragged Charlie along. Didn't drag. I made him work more, didn't I, Charlie, this week?
I was done. We were caught up. For God's sake, Nate, we were back on schedule.
We were all back on schedule. And then our good friend Deryk, who we did an interview with for Late Checkout, said, hey, I'm part of another Indiegogo for a movie called Watchdog with writer-director LC Holt, who is also known for starring in You're Next and VHS2. He's helming this project. Would love to be on the podcast to promote the Indiegogo campaign. And I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. And instantly tell Charlie, I texted you and said, hey, we're doing this interview and it's at 8 o'clock at night and we have one day to prep.
Yep. That pretty much sums it up. And then he's like, we gotta stay in on this Indiegogo campaign. So as soon as we're done, you got to get this out.
It's getting out. That way, by the time this airs, it'll probably still be 18 days left of the Indiegogo campaign for Watchdog, the movie.
Which is more time.
We'll post everything.
Which is more time than you guys gave me for Late Checkout on that interview.
We had like 5 days left.
We had 5 days left. So I think that one I had to have out next day. This one, I've got an extra day. But it just had to land where we just dropped an awesome interview with Rob Davidson on the channel. Our normal drops. This is like a big week. There's so much content.
There's a lot going on.
Getting that out. And again, we have a whole nother interview at the end of the month, not this weekend, but at the end of the month.
Give you some time to breathe.
Yeah.
The crazy thing, when we record this episode, they're at 95% the goal. They're at 98% the goal now.
That's amazing,
so,
man.
Just because they hit 100% does not mean the campaign stops. There will still be 18 days to get even further. That way they can even go further with their vision. And there's some incredible perks. I'm not going to run down right now because we dive deep into them in the interview.
Yeah.
LC Holt was incredible. Really funny dude. Very humble human being, which was amazing to have him on. And I absolutely love Deryk. And it's always great to have Deryk on the show whenever we can.
Yep. I had a blast, even though, yes, I was like looking at Nate going, oh, come on, man. And I have to use a separate program. So it's not going to be our normal audio you guys are used to hearing on us. It's a single track. So if we step on each other during this interview, you'll have to forgive us. But, Deryk refuses to get anything but an iPad. And yeah, I'm throwing it out there on you right now, Deryk. I called you out. As expand, my man.
If you're on an iPad, please feel free to leave us a review underneath Apple Podcasts while you're at it.
Exactly. It's only 5 stars though. You can't do anything lower. That's
create multiple profiles.
Why haven't we done that?
It took me this long to come up with the idea.
All right. Well, not a lot for us to even talk about because I feel like you've all heard everything that's going on in our lives pretty regularly right now.
Yeah.
So I think what I want to do is we're going to play a special commercial drop instead of our network. Since this is an independent movie, I was like, you know what? Let's promote some independent podcasters. And these are friends of ours. They're in the horror genre. If you're checking out this interview for the first time, because of the movie, go check out these guys on their podcast. We're all friends. We all support each other. So let's support everyone in this whole thing.
Yes.
Man.
Much love to Spoils of Horror and 100 Horrors.
Absolutely. So I'm not even going to call it commercials. Let's play their promos, Nate.
Boom. Let's do it.
We'll be back following these messages.
Welcome to 100 Horrors, a comedy podcast that seeks to rank the best 100 horror films of all time, as dictated to us by a poster that one of us owns.
Every week, we bicker over another film in an attempt to give it an overall scare factor and secure its place in the 100 Horrors list.
With features such as... I don't wanna die! But at least I won't die like that. And...
What would you say to them at the funeral?
We take a light-hearted approach to horror cinema so that it can be enjoyed by even the most squeamish of listeners.
So whether you're the person who's never seen a horror film in their life, or the person who has a tattoo of Leatherface on the right arse cheek, there's something to be enjoyed in every episode of 100 Horrors!
Do you like horror movies?
Do you like hanging out with your friends?
Do you like having a laugh?
Do you like podcasts?
Well, you should check out our podcast, Spoils of Horror.
We're not a review show.
We're a horror movie hangout where we talk about movies that are lost, forgotten, popular, and bizarre, all in the scary realm.
You can listen to our podcast while you're doing just about anything.
You could be washing your dishes.
You could be washing your cat.
You could be washing your genitals. All forms of genitals accepted.
We are a fully inclusive genitalia show.
Yes, we are the #1 ideal podcast for washing your genitals.
Our genital Yelp reviews are unsurpassed.
5.5 stars.
You don't want to know where that half came from. It's,
Now that you know that, check us out on all major platforms.
You can search for Spoils of Horror on all social media sites.
Come and hang out with us. We'd love to see you.
And your genitals.
Bye.
Welcome back.
All right. Well, that was our buddies over on the old Instagrams. They love talking about weird shit, and that's why we're all friends with them. So, you know, it works.
It definitely does. I love them so much.
Oh, yeah. No, we love those guys.
Give me some kisses.
Now you're making it weird, Nate. All right. I think it's time that people get what they click the link for. Let's give them some interviews. Nate,
Yes.
why don't you segue us in?
Without further ado, here is our interview with LC Holt and Deryk Wehrley.
All right, man. Well, you're in the driver's seat, Bubba.
Sweet. What is up? We have with us today LC Holt and Deryk Wehrley. Deryk, who has been on the show before, and LC, a first-time comer on the show, but very stoked, and I am not saying this just to kiss ass. He was a part of one of my favorite home invasion movies of all time, You're Next, The Man with the Sheep Mask. I had watched another movie, and I was like, that's not how you do a home invasion movie. This is how you do it, and showed it to an ex, and we put on You're Next. So I cannot say highly enough of that. And Deryk had reached out saying, hey, LC has a new movie that he's working on that he is directing, his second feature, Watchdog, which currently has an Indiegogo happening right now. We're like 96% to goal, people. We have, by the time this airs, we're in the teens. We probably have like 17 days left. So let's just keep throwing them money. LC, please say hi to everyone.
Thank you, Nate. That's great to hear that you're a You're Next fan, because that's always nice to hear. Hello, everybody. I'm LC. Thanks for having me on. It's an absolute pleasure, and I look forward to talking to you about our new film, Watchdog, which, as you said, Indiegogo's still alive, and just trying to make it happen. It's going to be a great film. But I'll talk about Time's Up and You're Next.
I'm excited for Time's Up, your very first debut that's not out quite yet, but do you have a time frame on that one?
Well, we're looking at the holiday season this year, 2022.
Nice.
Now, there is some big news coming.
We like big news over here.
Very soon. But I'm not allowed to say yet. So
What's awesome is we've had Deryk on the show before, and we did an Indiegogo interview with him for Late Checkout. You both, is that how you two met?
Yeah.
Yeah, in person. Yeah, that's how we met. Yeah, we had worked with similar people before, and we kind of ran in the same circle. But we first met in person on Late Checkout.
Nice. So Charlie and I have been stoked for Late Checkout.
Oh,
Charlie,
am I here?
Yes,
am
you're
I
here
here
as well. Yes.
Okay. I thought maybe I was just here to observe.
Nah. You and I had literally just recorded on Thursday night. We were talking about, like, man, we need to get Deryk back on the show. Let's just have him, we'll just do a movie. And, like, at the end, we can throw 20 minutes his way to do whatever he wants to do. Make it the Deryk show.
Yeah.
Literally
And
the
then
next day,
within like
Deryk
48 hours,
shoots
I
me a
reached out to you.
message going, hey, got an opportunity. You want in? And I was like, I'm down.
It's funny how those things work out, and it's like I said, I had so much fun my first time on here. Of course, Nate, we've hung out on multiple occasions, and getting to meet Charlie and chat with you guys for a few hours last time, even outside of the actual stream, it was a ton of fun. So I thought, what better opportunity than to bring Watchdog over to this and talk a little bit about that.
Well, have us just, dive into horror, because Watchdog is a home invasion movie.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking probably a singular location for the most part.
You're correct. Yeah, mostly it's one location. Yeah.
Charlie and I absolutely dig these kind of movies.
Yeah, I'm finding I like those a lot better now, where you can, as long as people are creative enough with it, where you're not just like, are they still in that stupid room the whole time? Please get out. But if you can make it entertaining and suspenseful, it works. And yeah, I'm becoming a fan of it. I haven't watched You're Next yet. My backlog of DVDs and movies that I need to watch are a mile long. And when you do a movie podcast, we don't seem to do those that are on my watch list. It's called, let's do this movie from like 25, 30 years ago. Sure, man, I'll go buy that Blu-ray right now and watch it immediately. Yeah. So no, but it is on my watch list. I've been wanting to watch Your Next. And yeah, and I think Deryk's a little tired of me. I keep sending him ideas for kills in our messenger chat. I'll be like, hey man, belt sander and a hand starting, and he'd be like, okay, I'm in. Draw it out for me.
I have a notebook, and I keep them all in a notebook. I legitimately do. I write everything down, and that's a little messed up, but it's like, hey, you never know when that's going to come in handy.
There's going to be one time when you're on a train and you're going to lose the notebook, and then someone's going to think they found a serial killer's notebook.
I was going to say, as long as the authorities don't find it, you're going to be fine, man.
You have like certain ones crossed out, and then you have like a little tally at the bottom.
All the ones you've actually done.
Deryk Wehrley, it's Jesus.
Cops are going through cold case files like that really happened one
there
time.
There was the Sandbelt Killer of '79.
LC's over there taking notes now. This is gold, guys. We're making a movie right after we're done with this one.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Yeah, one of these days, Charlie, you're going to watch a movie, and one of these deaths is going to pop up. So
I'm excited. I'm always. I can't
deaths.
Not talk about Deryk on the shows anymore either. Where I'm like, that kill was cool. Get Deryk on the line right now.
One of the kills going to look like a very big, tall, burly, bearded man. You're like, that guy looks kind of familiar. Not realizing it's just a mirror image of yourself.
Deryk's been taking weird pictures of me and pulling my pictures off of my Facebook and Instagram. And he's like, I've kind of got this mold of him going here. And all of a sudden I'm going to die on screen. And I'll be like, I wasn't even there. This is amazing.
How did he even do this?
I won't be mad though, Deryk, because you're not putting crap on my face. I'm claustrophobic. So if you're going to do that, you got to sculpt this beauty right here. This.
You know what? I will do my best. And I will say there's always opportunity to die on screen in some of these movies. We always have those on-screen death perks. You should.
I love that is a perk.
It happens so much, and people love that stuff. We had a really cool one for Watchdog, which was be the first victim. And, people usually hop on that stuff pretty quickly. And
I know. You also did a perk, it's already sold out, but like be a photograph of a victim.
Yeah.
Like a previous victim.
Yeah. Photo of a past victim. Yeah. Which those usually go well too. The people getting their photos in there because you become a part of the story,
Yeah, definitely.
I like that. That's a creative perk. I don't think I've ever heard anyone be like, you get to be the photograph of a kill in the movie, or a photograph of someone they're watching in the movie. I like that idea.
We'll still get you to be all bloodied up and just be on set for a day, right?
Yeah, what it's going to be is you just send in your photo. And
oh, nice.
Yeah, and it's a newscast because the killer in Watchdog has taken other victims before this story begins. And so you'll be one of the victims and, on screen during the newscast, and they're talking about you and stuff. So, yeah,
I like that.
I mean, if I was buying this stuff, I'd kind of want to do some things where, hey, I get to be in the world of the movie. I'm part of the story,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and, definitely. I would be the person be like on the news saying like, please do not share that picture of me dressed as 11 from Stranger Things as like my picture,
I'm gonna buy that perk just so I can send in that picture of you.
Wait, I can send other pictures? Wait a second, this changes the game.
Think about it. Do it for a friend. It could be fun.
Because Soul Patch Nate needs to be immortalized.
Soul Patch Nate does not need to ever come back again.
But yeah,
it's my favorite picture. Stop it.
The on-screen deaths are always ones that people really seem to like. Like he brought up, the photo of a past victim, or like missing posters. Missing posters are one that movies do pretty frequently as well. And one that's pretty unique about this project are some of the like internships on set, because I know we just went live on Thursday.
I wanted to mention that of like you are looking for an intern.
Yes. So we have two openings, and it's $300. Come and be an FX internship for 2 days on set. But we also have for $900 is be an actual intern on set as well, and that's for how many days? 5 days.
That's 5 days. Yeah.
5 days on set for $900, and it's like talking to LC before, I mean, I said the same thing in our live stream a few days ago, that if I was new and just getting into this, or even back when I was, if this had been an option, that's totally what I would have done to kind of get my foot in the door, just to show up on set. I mean,
if you're wanting to get started, let me ask you this, LC.
Cheaper than a college course. Just
it is.
You might as well just get
classes and stuff
thrown right into the fire, and some people just learn better like that.
I totally agree.
I do too. Yeah, I've always learned better from
hands-on
experience. Yeah. For me, that's the best way to learn anything, is to just do it. You fail, you get back up, but you're better when you go forward.
Yeah. Well, the key is you have to fail. You're not going to be perfect out of the gate, so you're not going to get better unless you do fail every once in a while. So,
and I mean, I was talking to someone just the other day about like my career in general, because I've been an actor. I've been in this for over 20 years, but really as an actor for 20 years someone was talking to me about career, and do you get jaded or whatever. And for me, the reason I think I'm so not jaded about things is because for like the first 10 years of my career, I was doing all kinds of stuff, but it was not stuff that really set the world on fire in terms of my personal career. I was working with people whose careers were going up, but it really wasn't until I did You're Next, which was about 10 years into my career, that I took off. So it was good to fail for about 10 years, because the 10 years and plus that have followed, it seems all the sweeter, because I know what it was like, when it wasn't just handed to you or something, so
yeah.
I think it's very important. I think that the worst kind of people you usually meet are the people that get everything for free and don't work for it,
Yeah, the ones that are just handed to on a cherry plate. And I think that's one of the things that's great about your career, is seeing like you start out as basically like an extra in Tim Burton's Big Fish, and then here you are directing your own movie. Like, how scary is that? To think all right, you know what? I've been seeing like what all these other guys are doing. Let me put my own flavor on it.
Well, I was lucky because I'd been doing this kind of under the radar for a long time. Like when I was in college, every semester I would make a short film,
Okay.
And so it was sort of like, but I didn't show it to people because I knew that, years from now, I'll look back and think this is bad, and then I won't be stuck with it.
That's how you practice, right?
Exactly. That's how you practice, under the radar, not seen by anybody other than you and the people that you were doing it with. And of course, back then, this was before digital editing. So this was like I was editing VCR to VCR. This was in college.
Wow.
I feel so old. Like my senior year of college is when I first worked with a digital editing program. And it's like crazy to me. Senior year of college. It was like, I'm so old.
It's funny you mentioned this.
LC, these are young bucks right here, man. I was born in '80, so these are babies. That we're talking
we the young ones.
My guy up here, Charlie, he knows what I'm talking about.
But even then, like, I try to make a TikTok video and I can't because I can't figure out how to digitally edit it whatsoever. I'm like, how the hell where do you look at in the camera? I don't understand whatsoever.
Yeah. But that's so practicing a lot before, to answer your question, and having no one see it, I think helped me. So it's actually I've directed more things than people know about, but I consider myself having only directed 3 movies, which was Spiritus, which was the first thing I did, and then Time's Up, and then Watchdog.
I think that's also kudos to you with like Time's Up still going to be coming out, and you're like, you know what, keep the ball rolling. Like, I already have another script in the bag. Let's start this Indiegogo. Let's get Watchdog made next. And Time's Up, is it correct that was filmed in Portland, Maine?
It was right in the middle of January.
Oh, how cold was that?
It was ungodly cold. I mean, just ungodly cold. And I was out. Luckily, we did it was, I think, 20-day shoot. And the first couple weeks were all interiors for the most part. And then that last week, man, was all exteriors. And I would stand there. And as a director, you're on the set the whole time, you know.
Yeah, you don't get a break.
And then you would look over at the puddle of water that was liquid when you first got there, and now it's solid. And you think, my body's been out here the same amount of time, so what's happening inside of me?
Well, your blood is now solid.
Exactly. And some of the cold, it was the coldest I've ever been on a film set. I've since worked on a movie as an actor, not as a director, where that was my second coldest experience. And of all things, that was shot in the desert. But what a lot of people don't know, the desert is
freezing at night.
Yeah.
Yep.
Usually,
as director,
like,
I'd have
ice
a
cubes.
heat igloo. That's what I would have. As a director, heat igloo. That's what I want. No, you can't be in my igloo. I'm watching the monitor. You guys do what I tell you. Freeze.
They do those video village inside of those canopies and put up the walls and have some heaters and stuff.
Yeah, hey, man, I'll come be a grip on the movie, man. I'll build you all kinds of cool shit. Like you want a little tent with heat? I got you, man. No problem. We'll get it done.
Making note of this.
I needed you in on Time's Up. Is what that was.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
I'll build anything.
And then Watchdog's being filmed in Alabama.
It is. So
nice.
It's the other extreme. But
so now you're going to be dealing with the heat and the humidity.
Well, we're shooting it in September, so it'll be milder than like right now in Alabama. It's incredibly hot. Swelteringly hot. And since it's all nights, the Watchdog takes place over the course of a single night, so that'll help us too. Because obviously summer nights in Alabama, sometimes they're like 85 degrees still, but by the time we get to September, I think it'll be milder at night. It might be a little more comfortable.
Nice.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
It's also like, I am noticing just from Deryk alone and then your own career, LC, there seems to be a Midwest horror group, right? Of filmmakers, and you guys are just bouncing back and forth and helping each other out, get your projects made.
Yeah.
Because if I see Deryk's on something, Hannah Fearman from the first VHS movie is involved. And if Hannah Fearman's involved, then it's like Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp is involved. And then it goes into Cheney Morrow from Haunt is involved. Like, it's really cool to see all of you guys kind of collaborate together. And I want to know more about this. How is this all happening? You all seem to be the best horror friends. The Rat Pack of Horror.
I've heard this. I've heard this title before, the Rat Pack of Horror. Yeah.
It's wild. We did it was myself, along with Mouse Parks, Bailey Harrington, and Dan Kearney. We're all promoting late checkout pretty early on, and Dan had brought up that it was kind of called like the Rat Pack of horror, and it's you know, a lot of these people that have been working together, you know, LC, Hannah, Felissa, Dan. I would include Kamara Cole in that because she's been in a lot of the projects with us.
Yeah, I see her name pop up a lot.
Damien
We wanted to
Mathey
get
has
her on
been
the
in a
podcast with
couple.
you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of these people that it seems like we're all working on a lot of the same stuff, and it seems like, you know, and Watchdog is a really good example of this because on Watchdog, you know, we have myself, we have LC, Cheney Morrow, Felissa Rose are all doing it, but it's like, you know, we were all also just on late checkout, but then it's like myself, Dan Kearney, Kamara, Hannah, LC, Felissa are all doing Macabre Mountain as well. So it's like we all kind of back each other up, and when it comes time for someone to make their own project, you know, we bring someone else in because my friend Tony, who directed The Undesirables back in March that I did FX for, is directing Macabre Mountain. So it's like Felissa took such a liking to him and what he did on that film that her and Hannah recommended him for that project, and he ended up getting the gig. And
oh, that's
when
awesome.
I had met Felissa on Dark Circles, and she's like, "Oh, I got to get you on more stuff that I'm working on." And then she, you know, and then obviously meeting LC on, you know, late checkout, and then we started talking about Watchdog, and then it really shows how small world, you know, with all of this, but also when you find people that you enjoy working with, you continue to work with them.
It seems like, yeah, like you guys get along so well. Why not just keep the good vibes going?
Well, you build a community. It's just going to happen, you know.
For sure.
You know.
It was never intentional. Like, I don't think any of us decided we were going to be like a group. It just kind of happened that way. And we all just end up doing a lot of stuff together all the time. And I'm very happy. I have a very talented group of friends, and I always enjoy working with all of the people that you mentioned, Deryk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're all fantastic people, and you know, it's I think the most satisfying thing for me personally through doing this is you know, I've been working with a lot of friends from like Kentucky and Indiana, and you know, even though we're very small time in comparison to movies like, you know, You're Next or VHS or whatever, you know, we've all been building our careers. And so when I got in close with Felissa and Hannah doing Dark Circles, when Tony was casting for, he's like, "Do you think we could get Felissa and Hannah in?" So I called them both up, and they both said yes. And then, you know, they all kind of liked them. So like, "Oh, why don't you guys come work on this?" And then, like you saw on Late Checkout, you know, you had worked with my friend Jaron on Phantom Fun World, and I got Jaron involved on Late Checkout. And then it's like, it's crazy how, you know, you're able to make all these new friends and then introduce this friend group to this friend group, and then everyone likes each other, and then, you know, the community just builds and builds. And like LC said, it's never really something that you're setting out to do. It kind of just happens, and it's like, "Oh, I have a person for that," and then
what I think
it just
is
grows.
Great, yeah, because of it growing, a lot of these movies are all going to be coming out very soon as well, because like you guys are you're pumping them out. Like, here comes this one and the next one.
It's out of control.
Yeah,
in the best way.
But like, I look at it, and I'm not trying to just mention this because you were in it, LC, but like with Adam Wingard in VHS and like T West, and like you see where those guys were back in 2010 to 2014, let's say, that little 4-year time period, and now Adam's, you know, made Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, well, you know, Adam and I, we started out together. I've known him since he was 19.
Wow.
We're both from Alabama, and the first film he directed that was a feature, I was in, and then we ended up doing 4 movies together, me and Adam Wingard, and he's still a very good friend of mine, and I'm very. But he's the kind of guy, I mean, it doesn't shock me that he's doing Godzilla versus King Kong, because he was one of these guys that you meet him and you just know instantly, this guy's different. Like
this guy's got a vision beyond.
This guy's something, you know.
Yeah.
And,
there's just people out there that they put that out to the world. Yeah. You know, they're not doing it on purpose either. It's just how they are naturally, you know, and that's. They got the thing, the it, I guess.
It's one of those things. It's crazy when you see someone go from a movie that has a budget of like $1 million to, hey, we're gonna throw $200 million at you.
Well, hey, man,
Good luck.
that $1 million with You're Next, but the second movie that me and Adam did together, him directing and me acting in, we did it for $3,000.
That's insane.
We shot it in a part of it in my grandmother's backyard, and ended up premiering at the Rome Film Festival, and had all these critical accolades. And it really got Wingard, even more than the first movie we did. It got Wingard going, like his career going, because of the critics loved this movie called Pop Skull that we did. And we'd already done one movie before that Adam directed. I was in with Bill Moseley and Tommy Tolles and Tiffany Shepez, and called Homesick. And you would think that was the one that blew it up, but really it was Pop Skull. It was the second one we did. $3,000. $3,000.
I'm interested to see that just because of the budget. I'd like to see. I got to see what you guys did with
insane.
it. I like how Deryk looks surprised. You guys have been friends for a while, and Deryk's like, I had no idea about
I had no idea.
This is new information to me.
Yeah,
it's really cool, but it does go to show that a lot of the movies we're working on have anywhere from about a $20,000 to about $80,000 budgets, and it's like we're churning out some. And I'm biased, but I do genuinely, from the outside looking in, genuinely putting out quality material in like films that would rival stuff you see on Netflix. It would rival stuff you see.
That's what I would say. Like,
and Shudder. I mean, we're putting out some really good stuff, and everybody's like firing on all cylinders. I mean, it doesn't matter what department it is; everybody is delivering. And I really think you'll be seeing some of this stuff streaming in places. You'll be able to buy it, out and about, get it on DVD and Blu-ray, and with some of these distribution deals and stuff. And it does go to show that you don't need millions and millions and hundreds of thousands of dollars to make a good movie. You just need a really good vision and very talented, qualified people, and I think we've found the formula for that.
You guys, I believe, have, and like having that vision, that dedication. Like, it will not surprise me when this movie comes out if it ends up hitting on Shudder, for example, and that's where it finds its audience. We're in this still new to us of like, if you want a movie to catch your eye, is it the poster that's doing it, or like just that brief, like on Netflix, for example, where it shows like the first 30 seconds when you're just scrolling, and you see like a title and you go, all right, what's Watchdog about? And you just watch it. And it's like, oh, this is a home invasion movie. I'm home alone by myself on a Friday night. I'm going to pick this. Yeah. And then, 90 to 110 minutes later, you're going to be like, okay, like, what else did this guy do? And then, like, if you're like me, after you watch something, you're like, okay, LC Holt. Oh, shit, this was the dude that was in VHS. Like, oh, nice. Like, he's worked with these, other people. Yeah. And that's how it happens, of, like, you just go into a rabbit hole. Essentially,
basically, that's
being a horror nerd. I mean, that's what I do.
Yeah,
oh, absolutely.
Watchdog is one of those cool things too, because as you said, it is a home invasion movie, and obviously, I'm known for invading at least one home,
at least one.
Yeah, and but I didn't even think about that in my mind. Like, I wasn't thinking, well, I'm going to do like my home invasion movie. Your Next actually wasn't in my mind at all when I was writing Watchdog. Very different kind of movie. In fact, Fangoria did an article about this movie Watchdog that we're doing.
Nice.
And they called it a reverse home invasion movie, which I think is the best way of putting it, because what the movie is about really is inviting something dark and evil into your house, and you trying to get out of the house once it's there alive.
Which, like, once
I like that. Yeah,
I was reading up on it, I was like, oh, Last House on the Left vibes we're getting out of this.
That's interesting. I never thought about that one either.
That's where I was going with it. I was like, like, if they're inviting this person in, what's going to happen here?
And I think what's really going to sell it, because again, when I read the script, I like what you brought up about Netflix, like showing the first 30 seconds or so of a film, is this movie starts off with quite a bang, I think. And then, you start at this peak and it kind of goes down, and then you start like leveling out. And then when it takes off, And I've said it a million times. This is the first script I've read that has given me like anxiety reading, to where I was just like flipping through the pages, like, am I taking all the notes I need to take, because I'm just like so anxiously going through it. and in the best way. And it's just,
right.
I think the dynamics between, you know, our lead with Cheney and you know, and I obviously I don't want to give too much away, but obviously,
no spoilers,
like, you know,
Deryk.
between
No
Cheney
spoilers.
and his wife Celeste in the film, and then her parents, and just the dynamic there, I think is going to be a huge selling point for that role reversal in the home invasion aspect of it. I think it's in the best way, and correct me, LC, if I'm wrong in saying this, but taking something we're familiar with, such as a home invasion movie, we've all seen one at one point or another, but kind of flipping it on its head and giving it a new angle that'll bring fresh eyes to it.
Yeah, I mean that's always for me the goal is, you know, to make something where you're not doing the exact same thing you've seen before. So how do you flip it, but at the same time not do the, you know, the quote that it's one of those words, you know, that people use a lot, but subverting expectations, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people will use that as like a kind of a negative thing, but because you have to be careful, because it can be negative if you subvert it too much and you're making fun of something. Then that's not good. But if you can subvert it just enough to where it feels fresh and new and different, you know, that's kind of what I want to go for. You know, and then this movie, I think, Charlie, you can relate to me on this one. I know, because growing up in the early '90s, there were certain movies that were of a certain vein, and I think like Watchdog is the distant cousin of movies like Unlawful Entry, or Bad Influence, or you know, The Comfort of Strangers. Those films where there was like the normality of life, and then one dark element comes into it and tears it completely to pieces.
Yeah, you turn everything upside down. You know, you take what you're comfortable with, and then you just shake up the snow globe basically, and mess with everyone inside of it.
The snow globe.
It's so ironic that you
Sorry.
say that.
I'm these guys. Normally I'm a huge like trailer guy, and I'll read stuff, but here lately I've been like, I don't want to know anything, because I would love to walk into a movie not even knowing the title, like knowing nothing, no movie poster, no title, no trailer. Sit me in a dark theater and start a movie.
Yeah, me too.
I think that's an experience everyone should have at least once in their life. And it's kind of, you know, independent. It still had a big budget, but I had bought Nobody last year, you know, fantastic action movie. Of course, I'm the action half of the podcast. I got the DVD Blu-ray, and I gave my dad the DVD, and I said, put it in the DVD player. Don't look at the cover. Don't look up anything online. Do nothing but hit play. And next time I saw him, he's like, holy shit, that movie was amazing. And I didn't know anything about it, and I loved every second. And I'm like, I want that experience at some point, especially with a horror movie, especially with something that's really gonna, like you're saying, take what I'm comfortable with and mess with it. I want to experience that raw. You know, you guys film movies. I say I feel like I'm part of this community, but you know, when you're filming the movie, you're not filming it as if the people already kind of know a little bit about the movie. You start filming it as if no one knows anything, which is the most pure way of doing it. But then you got to get a trailer out. Then I got to get people interested. Oh, what kind of awesome poster is going to show, you know, the guy with the welding mask on his face, you know. But in the movie, you try to make these reveals as, whoa, holy crap, that's amazing. I wasn't expecting that.
What's crazy about that too is when you film it on set, everything's out of order. So it's like if you have no context, you're just like, what's going on? Like it's really bizarre.
I can only imagine.
But I will say that's kind of one of the things that kind of like I'm not talking bad about like, you know, crowdfunding, because it's a beautiful, wonderful tool.
It's a tool. Exactly what you said.
It does suck sometimes because you almost have to give more away than what you want to get people interested. You know, you can't just throw up a poster and a little synopsis and people be like, yeah, take my money. People want to know more. People want to know, well, what is my money going to? And I respect that entirely.
That's true. Yes.
It does ruin the kind of excitement,
the experience,
that experience and the magic of, you know, just seeing a trailer and then going and seeing a movie, you know? And that's why what has to kind of suck a little bit for the people who like get to come on set and see stuff, because it's like, oh man, you're getting to see some of the spoilery stuff, and that's no fun. But you know, it's everyone seems to enjoy it and have a good time one way or another, and I think that's the most important thing. But being able to just like see a trailer, or not even see that, maybe just see a poster, because growing up in the Hollywood Video and Blockbuster days, just grabbing a VHS because, oh, this cover's cool. I don't even know what it's about, but I'm gonna rent it, and then just going in blind like that. And
that's the closest I think anyone could have got from that generation.
Oh, for sure.
You know, is look, that cover is what made you rent, especially if it never got into the theater. You know, that cover is going to be like, okay, I want to watch this. You know, we do our bit on the show where it's the back of the VHS. That's our synopsis now, because that's what would have grabbed us when we wanted to watch a movie.
Absolutely.
You know, and we are a product of our time right now. Unfortunately, it's consumption. How fast can you get me? That was an amazing series. I want to binge all 20 episodes in a weekend and not wait till every Friday night to watch it. You know, like me and LC grew up with, you know, if you wanted to watch a show, you got it like every once a week. Then it took a break. Then after summertime, fall would roll around, we'd get the second part of that season. And that's how we lived our lives. Now my kids are like, I watched 10 episodes of Mandalorian on a Saturday. And you're like,
and if it was one of your favorite shows too, you better be good with that VCR remote.
Oh,
record it. Because
if you watched the episode and it was like a really good one, you were like, oh God, I didn't record it. And I'm not have to wait 2 years for that to be in
When will
reruns.
they air it again?
Exactly. Yeah.
Reading
the reader, the newspaper every week going, are they showing it today? No, at 2 a.m. it's coming back on a rerun. I'm going to set the VCR to record it.
I've been seeing everyone post because, you know, I enjoy Stranger Things. You know, I'm hip, I'm cool. I mean, this whole season they made a whole character based on me and didn't even hire me. Come on.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like how frustrating was that when it was like it was just the two of us, and I'm like,
oh, okay, thanks Netflix. When do I get my check? But so many people are posting, I have to wait till 2024 for the next season. I was like, do you not remember when you'd see a movie in the theater and then a year later it'd come out on VHS?
Yeah.
Or to get a sequel, you'd wait 6 or 7 years and then get your sequel. Like, do y'all not remember that? Like waiting 2 years, a year and a half maybe, to get your next season of Stranger Things. Like, we got it pretty lucky, I think, in comparison to how it was. You know, I grew up through the late 90s, you know, and even then when I was a kid growing up watching my favorite cartoons or shows, you know, watching TV Guide and like trying to figure out, okay, when's this on, or flipping through days through the guide at a time to be like, oh, okay, Saturday that's playing.
I just remember watching Channel 3 as it would just scroll through the channels, and you're like, you got to make sure you're paying attention. All right, what's coming on Comedy Central? And if I look down or let the dog out, and then Comedy Central pass,
you gotta
now
watch
I gotta
it
wait
all
again.
over again.
Like
but thankfully, they have a
later,
really cool commercial the whole time to keep you entertained. Then you start watching that, and you're like, ah, shit, I missed it again.
Yeah.
But you know, it's
if you wanted to get something before VHS, you had to buy it on pay-per-view. You remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was on that scrolling channel. There would be half of the screen would be the scrolling, and the top half would be like the same preview of the pay-per-view going over and over and over again. Yeah. And
different time, guys. Different time, man. Now everything is consumable. There's multiple streaming sites, which is great for you guys. I mean, for independent movie makers now, it's kind of like a smorgasbord of where you can even get put out.
Where's your options?
Yeah, you have the ability to, you know, bounce around a little bit. And I'm sure it's difficult to even get picked up by, you know, some streaming services, but it is there, especially if you've proven yourself once or twice. You know, and they're like, okay, these people are putting out good content. Let's get them on the next one that they're ready to do. You know, let's get it on Tubi, let's get it on Shudder, something like that. You know, even my local Walmart, there's like an entire section of Shudder movies. Even though it's streaming, they're all on Blu-ray. You know, and all I'm waiting for now is to see like Late Checkout, you know, eventually maybe Watchdog, because I'm going to pick them up, take pictures of them, you know, and just put them all over Facebook. You know, you guys made it. You're at Walmart now.
Yeah, there's a weird thing of it. You got to watch out sometimes with horror and the Walmart though, because
they'll edit it.
If you knew this, but on VHS2, if you buy it in Walmart, like my face getting blown off,
cut out of the movie.
Are you serious?
It digitizes. Yeah, I put the gun to my chin there, and then when I pull the trigger, it like digitizes, and then I'm just gone, and then I sit back up. Yeah,
God, it's one of the most haunting scenes of
and
recent
they changed the name
horror
of movies too. I worked for a distribution company out in LA, RLJ Entertainment, who has a partnership with Shudder to put their stuff out physically. And when I was out there working for them, there were certain movies we'd get that they had stipulations on what you could and could not show on the covers, content there within, as well as names. When Deathgasm came out, they changed it to Heavy Metal Apocalypse.
Yep, it was totally
Satanic
different.
Panic, they changed it to just Panic.
Yeah, I remember
so
that
we had
one.
to make multiples of certain covers of movies for the different releases and stuff like that because they're very particular. It's very bizarre to me because it's like when they used to carry like the censored CDs, you know, the clean versions.
They would the clean versions of, you know, Metallica, clean versions of Slayer.
Oh,
like, that shouldn't exist. You know,
that's just not a thing. You know, but
even the radio's like, we're not even going to play the song if you're going to make us edit it. So you know.
What if we do this for Watchdog? We automatically make a censored version for Walmart, and we just call it Dog. And then people are like, "Oh man, this is gonna be a movie about a dog," and they just pick it up. Now we just increase your sales because everyone likes dogs.
It's
That's
genius.
True.
But you don't edit the movie in reality.
You don't edit the movie
just
whatsoever.
Change the cover.
It's just a dog, and people
put a dog.
Like, wait a second.
Yeah, you get like Mark Patton getting licked by a dog, and he's looking real happy as the cover.
You know, but then we'd have to compete with that. Didn't Channing Tatum just do one called Dog? Didn't he just do a movie called Dog?
He did, but then people are thinking, hey, I'm going to buy that Channing Tatum movie. And next thing they know, they're getting an LC Holt Fright Fest of a film.
True.
So that you want them to become the ones that always try to jump on the big marketed movie, you know, like the Jurassic Park.
Godzilla versus Kong, it's giant angry ape versus lizard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey,
I don't know how they make those movies so fast, man. Those guys are champs.
And their marketing is spectacular because people buying it.
I have a bit of trivia there that you won't find on the Internet Movie Database.
I'll bring it.
You know that my father was dated Channing Tatum's mother in high school.
What? Fantastic.
What?
They were high school sweethearts. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Wow.
And Miss K, that's her name. We always called her Miss K. She lives about 20 minutes from me right now.
That's awesome.
What?
Heard it here first,
go.
everybody. This is that breaking information.
Get her in a movie.
There we go. There's
and then this is starring Channing Tatum's mom.
And we don't even use her name. It's just Miss K.
Yeah,
Miss
exactly.
K.
Miss K.
You kill her every movie. She just dies. She's one of the main kills in it, and that's her whole shtick. She just dies in every movie.
So rad. I'm super excited, and you know, I think it's super awesome that we even have the ability to get a lot of these indie movies on streaming. You know, I've talked about this with a couple people that it does feel like how in the 80s there was a lot of, you know, independent stuff coming out on a regular basis. And I mean, there's so many crazy, ridiculous horror movies through the 80s and 90s and a lot of straight to video stuff specifically in the 90s. And I feel like we're in an indie movie renaissance right now where it's like there's much coming out and there's so many people working on things. And a lot of them are starting to get decent distribution deals. Some of them are landing on Amazon, Tubi, Peacock. Sometimes they're landing on Netflix and Shudder, and it's just like being involved with that. And for so many fans, you know, you guys included, myself included, being able to put money towards something like that and help get it made is just a crazy concept entirely. You know, it's allowing fans to be involved with the industry that they care about, you know. And I saw a lot of bands doing it there back in the late 2010s, starting to be like, hey, we're doing a Kickstarter, help us make our new album. One of my favorite metal bands, Obituary, did that back in 2014, and they released an album that way, and it did great.
Yeah.
You know, and now seeing movies doing it and seeing so many different names, you know, people like LC and Hannah and Felissa being attached to these films, and you know, them even pushing to help it get made. And it's just an amazing thing seeing so many incredible people making so many different things, and it is almost overwhelming. Like I have a Facebook friend, oh god, I forget the guy's name, but he showed me a screenshot of his Indiegogo, and over the last year and a half, he has donated to over 150 different independent films. And he said usually it's just buying a Blu-ray perk or buying like a cheap associate
but it's
producer.
Something as simple as that. Like you guys have a perk on here where it's $15 for a special thanks in the credits. That's awesome. Like most of us have $15 if we want to truly support something. I'm going to throw $15 your way, Not a problem whatsoever.
If you can afford McDonald's, like you can afford to get a
I literally
in a movie.
Like $12 at Taco Bell because I hate myself. I will throw you guys more than that, and I don't hate myself for that, But your guys' perks are personable. Like there are Zoom call parties that you're going to do where you get to like hang out with LC.
Yeah,
I'm hanging out with right now. It's worth it.
You get to hang out with not just me though. Felissa Rose will be there. Wes Robinson, who's Cheney Morrow, Celeste.
And if you've not hung out with either Cheney Morrow, Wes Robinson, Celeste, Felissa, any of these people, LC included, it's a great bunch. Let me tell you. I mean, you get LC and Cheney together, and it's good times are had by all. I can assure you.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
Oh, dude, Cheney is unfreaking real. When we did the live stream with him, and he was doing his goofy trivia thing, man. I mean, Cheney is a blast. He is such a great time.
I saw
and
Felissa, he was.
Oh God, she is wonderful, truly.
Yeah, she seems like a total sweetheart of a human being.
Yeah, Felissa can make me laugh very easily, and it's the same with Cheney. Like Cheney he's entertaining without even trying to be. Like it just somehow it happens. Like it's never boring with Cheney.
Right. His existence is hilarious.
It's hilarious.
The man rolled high on his charisma check.
There you go.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I'm telling you,
you guys are talking about the perks. Why don't we just go ahead and let them go through what the perks
what's some of your guys'
right
favorite perks?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. I think one of the coolest ones, if I was to be totally honest, I'll have two. One is the Mark Patton bundle, which I think we were talking about a little bit earlier. But you get a special thanks for that. Mark will do a cameo with you, a face mask, a pin, signed 8x10, all from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, and then that signed Scream Queen vinyl soundtrack record, which again alone I love that. And all that signed and for $200,
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible that you guys got Mark Patton because the man has not really done much after Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. I mean, it seems like he's starting to get comfortable in the camera again. So like, this is awesome. Like to have that, like a horror legend is in your movie.
And he's coming back in a big way, I think. He just did a movie that hasn't come out yet called Swallowed, in which he plays like a really nasty bad guy. And I think that's going to really help a lot. He's getting hugely great reviews for that because it's so different than what you would think of if you know Mark, or know him or seen him in
I've seen his name pop up more and more around the convention circuit where I'm involved with it down here, and it's kind of nice when you start seeing things like, man, he hasn't done a whole lot, that's kind of a good get. And now, like Nate said, that he's more comfortable getting out into the public and meeting the people and the fans, and now to see him in movies, I like to see him kind of go that route of Felissa Rose, where she's really embraced that entire part of being an actress that was somewhat forgot about almost for the 90s and stuff like that. And now she's like, boom, here I am. Everyone wants me in a movie. Everyone wants to talk to me. And, she radiates energy. I'd follow her on Instagram, and she's even in a movie that isn't even a horror, kind of horror movie, I guess. Nate, it's an action horror movie that we just did an interview with the guy. And he's like, yeah, Felissa Rose is in this one too. And it's like, it's amazing. She's in them. She's just out there working, and I love it.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Mark
can get that way.
If you haven't seen Scream Queen, the documentary, it explains why he took such a long break. And it's a hell of a story, man. What a life. But he's really come back in a really cool way, and has a lot of great things to say about his experiences away from the camera and everything he's kind of learned. And Yeah, great guy. Love Mark.
That's a great perk. Then I think that's a good one. So what's some of the other perks you got going on?
Well, the second one I was saying that I really like is this executive producer perk, which it sounds like it's just the executive producer, but we actually have a perk that's you can get a Zoom call with me and Felissa, and it'll be private Zoom call, so we'll dish all the dirt with you. They have a cast and crew signed script and poster. Of course, you get the executive producer credit, and then you get 2 tickets to the premiere. And,
fantastic.
And we've cut the price on that back by 33%. So all that's just $1,000.
Nice.
So
you can't beat that. That's, I know some people are like get those knee jerk reactions of, oh God, what is it? I think Deryk, it was something we talked about earlier, was like getting the cast signed posters.
Mm-hmm.
If you tried to go do that after the fact, the amount of conventions you'd have to go to, whether they're even doing conventions,
Mm-hmm.
would be astronomical compared to do the backer through Indiegogo,
mm-hmm.
and you secure it, get it while all the people are sitting there.
Yeah.
Deryk will splash a little blood on it and it'll all be good,
And
here's the thing. If you go to cons, because I've been attending cons since 2010, so I've been doing it for 12 years.
Yeah.
And I remember getting George Romero's autograph for $25 in 2010, right up until the day he died. I think he was charging almost 60 to 80 range by that point. I met Jeff Goldblum. I paid $80 for that autograph, but if you go to a lot of horror cons, you're going to pay 20 to 40, even upwards of 60 for an autograph.
Yep.
For the amount of people you're getting to sign this poster or this script or this DVD or Blu-ray, whatever, you're not going to be able to get not only Felissa, Mark Patton, Celeste, LC, Cheney, Wes, but like myself, Jaron, Jakey, all the people who are going to be there are going to be signing this, and tracking all of us down, those who are at cons and those who aren't, getting to those cons, the amount of money you'd put into something like that, you'll never be able to get it for the price we set these things at. It's a grand deal. When you look at something like the executive producer perk, $1,000, you're getting a private Zoom call with the director and one of our, lead stars of this film, where you get a very intimate one-on-one conversation with them to talk about the film, other projects they've done and what it's like. Tickets to the premiere. And if you've never been to a film premiere, they are so much fun. You get to see the movie on a big screen, meet the cast and crew. Sometimes there's Q&As, and just the atmosphere is so much fun.
And you get a title. You get to say, I'm the executive producer.
This is what I did on my vacation.
Yes, it's an integral part. And, getting to do all this stuff for $1,000, I don't think people realize quite the value that you get with that. Because as a person who has been a fan for so long, but then is also now doing it and has been doing it for quite some time, it is a really good deal. And, especially with that Mark Patton perk, which again, I can't say enough about. I love Nightmare on Elm Street too. I think I think Mark gives an incredible performance in that film. And, it's just the effects in it are great. The soundtrack's great. Freddy has never looked better. And, to get the Scream Queen soundtrack, which is an incredible score on vinyl, the
hot
face
pink
mask,
vinyl,
the pen, all that stuff, man, it's insane. All this stuff that you're getting, plus the one-on-one, the cameo, one of those personalized shout-outs from Mark himself. That's a pretty cool thing. And again, like I've said a million times with LC on these live streams, overall, it's bragging rights, man. Like, you get to tell people, hey, I got this movie made, and look at all this cool stuff I have to show for it. You're a fan that gets to live the dream, and there's nothing that can beat that.
And your name will be on it forever, too.
Right.
It's like people ask me about You're Next and stuff. And, there were a few things on that movie that actually did get signed by all the cast while we were there. And I don't know what happened to them or who got them, but nowadays people say, well, how do I get my Your Next poster signed by you and Charney and Joe and Lane and Ty West and Simon Barrett and Adam Wingard? And the answer really, honestly, is you probably won't unless because people have been trying. 10 years after that movie came out, which was just recently, people have always been talking about doing like a reunion thing at a con and stuff. But I'll tell you, and this is nothing bad, but there are people in that movie who do not want to do that.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not going to. The chances of all of us getting together are very slim. Now,
yeah.
you never know. So you never know with Watchdog. This might be your opportunity to get that thing that you might never get again.
And you don't want to be like Nate here, who after Your Next had came out, most of you guys were at Horror Hound Weekend shortly after it came out.
Yep.
I was dating a terrible human being who was just ready to leave, and I didn't get to go to everyone's booth. And I remember just thinking like, oh shit, like this movie is like the next big cult classic. Like it's just
did you get
one
to
of those things you watch and you get the feeling for. And like most of the cast was there. I think T was there. And I didn't get to talk to anyone. And it's just like that is one of those things I will forever regret. That and not getting to talk to Deryk Riggs, who does all the Iron Maiden artwork.
Was this in Cincinnati?
It was. Yep.
I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
It's crazy.
go,
I
Nate.
would give
yeah.
anything in the world to meet Ty West. Like he is my favorite current, guy doing horror films. I mean, between House of the Devil, The Innkeepers, The Sacrament, X. Like The Roost, which a lot of people have not seen, and even his work with VHS and being in You're Next, I think he does some incredible work, and it's like he doesn't really do appearances. You never hear about him doing anything like that, and it's like looking back, I'm like, man, I wish that's something I could have been involved with. And I was at that Horror Hound, but I never stopped to get all the autographs from the Your Next people. Now I get to work with one, so that's cool. But it's like
you get a consolation prize, and Nate gets a
it,
podcast interview.
Everything comes full
so there
circle,
you go.
But it is like LC said, this is an opportunity to get something from a film that has potential to become a cult classic and a cult hit, and get something signed by everybody and get a piece of indie film history with your name on it forever.
Now, like LC, you finished writing the script, right?
Uh-huh.
So then is your next step like, all right, I want to take this to Indiegogo, I want to take this to Kickstarter? Like, walk me through that. Like, what is your thought process after you've gotten the script written? Like, and then like, if I'm doing Indiegogo, like, where did you come up with the ideas for the perks?
That's a good question. Well, when the script was written, the first thing I did was I went and I shot a movie as an actor, and then while I was on the set of that movie, I met two of the people that I just knew would be the perfect for this movie. Wes Robinson and Celeste Blandon, who are two of the stars of Watchdog. And I didn't write it for them. I just worked with them, got to know them, saw how talented they were, what good people they were to work with, and did it. And Wes and I have a connection because he was in Blair Witch, which Adam directed, and so that's what I did first. And then after I had cast Cheney and I had cast, because Cheney and I have worked together, we've known each other a while now, and he was in Time's Up, and we've acted in Terror Trips and later Late Checkout. We've done a lot of things together as actors, and so. I knew after I cast them and then Felissa and then Mark, at that point I was like, well, how much money will we need to make this movie? I designed the movie to be self-contained. We're talking about one location. The movie has about 3 locations, but there's one primary location.
Right.
Small cast. When I did Time's Up has a much bigger cast and a lot more locations. And I told one of the producers, I said, mark my words, my next film is going to have one location, 8 people. He thought I was joking. I wasn't joking. So that's what I did with Watchdog. And so it was designed to be manageable and budgetarily. And so then we got together with some of the investors actually who worked on Time's Up, a lot of the same investors, and they put in money into Watchdog. And now we're supplementing that with an Indiegogo. So, the total budget of the movie will probably be around, hopefully around 35,000. And for what Watchdog is, it's very doable for that budget. And like I say, it was designed that way.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should ever be taken aback with a budget because when you look at some of these classic films from the 70s, they're working with exactly the same budget you have right now.
Oh, sure,
You know?
yeah.
Like there is no need for anyone to ever go, oh, this is too low budget for me. I'm not going to watch this. Like, no.
We've been conditioned as a society to believe that Hollywood's bigger budget means better movie. And us sitting here know that that's not always true.
No, because I know that I'm going to get LC's vision.
Yeah.
But there's not going to be interference that what you wanted to put on film is what I, as an audience member, is going to get to see.
Exactly.
And I think that is what's awesome about what you guys do.
Well, it's like I was telling one of my actor friends the other day. It was like, you know, with more money, I said, more money, it just comes more eyes around the corner. You know, everybody's looking, and how can they get their fingers in there? And now we have to, you know, the lower the budget, you know, the more control you have.
Less fingers in the pot, basically, the lower the budget.
Yeah.
You know, the people that are supporting it on Indiegogo, they know what they're getting. They're getting a movie and perks. No say-so on anything. Doesn't mess with your vision. A small group of investors that have worked with you before, that means we like what you're doing. We're behind you. But if you start talking about studios that have millions and millions, they're gonna be like, we're giving you money. So if we want to cut this scene, or we want you to add this, or totally change this part of the script, you're gonna, or no more money. You know, that's the whole change of the shift of dynamic from independent to, you know, large studio backed productions. You know, even Blumhouse has to do that. You know, Blumhouse still has money behind it, even though they're the kind of indie, you know, studio. They're not true indie like we're talking with right now. You know,
I think the closest thing to like true indie we get with a lot of bigger budget stuff is A24.
Yeah,
I feel like they're like the only studio that's like really indie, and even then, I mean,
I think they're getting a little They're getting a little bloated up here. You know, I mean,
when all your movies are making like 80 million plus at the box office.
Oh yeah, it's been cool watching them as a studio grow. You know,
it's very strange to be like, that's the studio that put out Kevin Smith's Tusk.
Yeah,
and then I can't. And then to watch X, because I just watched that the other night for the first
Green
time.
Room. They did Green Room as well, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. You know, it's crazy watching how that goes. But I agree. I think with Indiegogo, it does allow for LC. You know, he's like, you know, I'm 8-person cast, 1 main location, and you know, doing through Indiegogo self-funding in independent film. You're getting his vision, everything he wants, and nothing that he doesn't, because it's all in his hands. You know, you don't have that outside interference, and I think that's one of the beauties again of, you know, this like indie renaissance is, I think there is a lot more option for people to make the movies they want to make. I mean, there's a Friday the 13th fan film out right now that's Jason versus Bigfoot. I never in a million years.
Whoa. What's that called?
It's called Friday the 13th Night of the Beast, I believe. And,
all right. Totally watching that later.
It sounds crazy, but I'm like, dude, I'm on board for this because it's crazy.
Has it
ridiculous,
been made yet?
Do what?
Has it been made yet?
It has. I'll send you a link later. It's pretty.
Oh my god!
It looks like it's pretty amazing. But but genuinely, like, this is allowing for people to make the movies they want to make, and for you to see the vision that these filmmakers have come up with, and I think it is a great tool. So I mean,
well, it's more accessible now. You know, like when LC and I grew up, you had to have, even the cheap cameras were expensive if you wanted to film something on your own. Heaven forbid you wanted your audio and your video to even line up correctly, you know, when you're doing that. But now people are making little featurettes off their phones. And it's blowing away anything we've had in the last 15, 20 years.
I mean,
up
my
to
phone,
right now.
My phone shoots 4K, 24 frames a second. That's cinematic, man. Like,
it's insane.
Like, you think of a movie like Unsane. When did that come out? Like 2014? That was
roughly.
On iPhone.
That was an iPhone 4, wasn't it?
Freaking bonkers.
Yep.
You know, it's.
But
like,
that's kind of the nice thing. Like, why we're in a renaissance is now people are realizing it's like, I want to do this. Well, shit, why aren't I doing it? You know, I have all the tools right in front of me.
Quit your job and make movies.
Quit your job and do special effects. You know, that kind of stuff.
Become an intern with Deryk.
Yes, do it. That's $300.
Make blood with him.
It's going to be a blast. As LC and I said in that one live stream, these special effects are going to be mind blowing entirely. It's there's lots of great stuff in there.
Wink,
guys.
wink. I feel, but you're
I
gonna
see
go
what you
for
did there.
quality over quantity, which is what I always love.
That's what it
That's
is.
right.
It is quality over quantity in this. Now, here's the deal. Late checkout, I was like, how many gallons can we put on screen? And we put just under 8. So
Okay.
and so
Yeah,
there
we
has
were
been
really a
lot.
proponent for that bucket of blood.
Yeah,
perk.
so
Oh,
that's
man,
what
I was going
we're gonna
for it.
pitch right now. I know this movie probably isn't the right fit for it, but your next vision, guys, both of you, we want the Give Me Back My Horror Movies perk of the gallons of blood. I want every dollar from that perk going
just
to
the
blood.
blood.
Just
I'm gonna keep
blood.
that in mind.
I like that. I like that idea.
Just let it go. That's mine and Nate's
And
dream
that's
right there.
like they can tip whatever they want. So
Yeah.
it's just
It
a
would
tip
be
jar.
amazing.
Yeah.
That way,
$1,
there's that one guy
$5.
who's like, "I'm gonna donate $69. Nice.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
$69 going to blood."
I'll have Deryk do a cost breakdown of his blood recipe, and he's like, "Okay, here's how much an ounce costs." So that gets you up to at least an ounce is what
And then I
your
want
minimum donation's going to be.
An Excel spreadsheet showing where you went over budget somehow.
It always happens, but I will say the effects in this, with a movie like Late Checkout or like They See You, a lot of those movies do go extremely over the top with some of the kills and with the gore. I mean, Late Checkout was it was outrageous. It really
We
was.
saw the behind the scenes
in a
videos,
great
everyone.
way.
We saw
some
a
of it.
clip.
But I
I
will
don't know if
say-
we're allowed to talk about that we saw
yeah.
Nope.
because we didn't see it.
Still
didn't
can't
see
talk
nothing.
about it.
But when it comes to a movie like Watchdog, it's a lot more grounded, and I think it's hard to scare people with gore and with violence because we've become very desensitized
Oh yeah,
as a
that's
society.
not scary
But
anymore.
I think when effects in a film are a little bit more grounded and more rooted in that realism, and it's not as whiplash, like you get the violence, but it's not so over the top. It is just enough to make people squeamish to really kind of get them like, oh. And then you throw in 2 or 3 really big, like effective kills. I think that does hit harder. And
Oh, it sticks out to you.
Yeah, especially when
Yeah.
you're in a movie that's very character driven, where you're being conditioned to really like and care about these people, and then when these horrible things happen, it is more of a gut punch. And so it is definitely more quality over quantity.
And that's where it's like my favorite horror movies are always where it's like I appreciate the characters.
yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And
Well,
the
it's
blood and stuff just ends up being a fun perk for being like a gorehound. But when you give me something where like I have a personal connection to the nerdy character or like that side character that's not the main one, then it's like, yeah, like, so then when something happens to him, it's like, oh no, you know.
that's what's really important to me too is characters. That was one of the things I loved about the You're Next script when I read it, is you understood who they were before anything happened to them.
Yeah.
And so that was important, I think. And so that way, when things happen to them, you have and I've always liked that, have a reaction. I've always liked that. And that's, Watchdog, with the tension of it. Deryk was talking about how it made him nervous. It's very much, it should almost feel so real that it makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. It's that kind of horror movie where it should make you feel uncomfortable.
Literally have to hit people at home, essentially, is what you come down to. Yeah.
I don't invite anyone into my house, so.
And you know what always scared the hell out of me growing up? And I have been watching a marathon of it. And that's Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Just the intro song still makes me go, oh, that show's on. I loved it, but I still go, oh, that one.
Yeah. I loved that show growing up. I still love it. And I'm talking about the Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack. I'm not talking about Dennis Farina one, and I'm not talking about the Netflix one right now.
The voice of Robert Stack, that music soundtrack behind him. He walks out of something dark when he starts talking to you.
Yeah.
That flashbacks right now, LC. That's all there is to it.
I think that is a great way. Like if you're watching something too, be like, all right, I'm all right.
Yeah,
watch a couple episodes and I'm all right.
The reason I was bringing that up is because Watchdog to me is something that you would see on a segment of Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh,
but
that's so awesome.
But instead of just seeing it on a segment of Unsolved Mysteries, now you're going to take the entire experience, like what would be summed up on Unsolved Mysteries with interviews about how horrible the situation turned out. You're actually going to take the journey through it, and but it had to be, to me, it had to be that level of realism, because Unsolved Mysteries, as we were talking about before, scared the hell out of me. The only thing I knew growing up watching Unsolved Mysteries was that I was going to get killed by a satanic cult, abducted by aliens, or kidnapped.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And
every time.
yeah,
So
that was
okay. Film pitch. Your next one you do a really good psychological thing, and we watch the movie, but once the movie ends, it's now an episode of Unsolved Mysteries talking about the movie we just did. You like kind of leave it open-ended at the end of the movie, and now we're watching our own parody of Unsolved Mysteries talk about the movie.
We weekend at Bernie's, Mr. Stack.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, nowadays, with like the Star Wars thing, you can just put his face on
deep
there.
fake him.
Yeah,
well,
that
makes me think of the Fourth Kind. How at the end it loops around.
Oh,
dude, that ending,
that reveal,
bad, like super bad. That was, oh man, that movie seriously got to me. That was,
same.
Oh geez, it doesn't matter where you stand. That movie's very effective, So it's this totally has that vibe of when you watch this, it's not far fetched. It is realistically how the no good deed goes unpunished, and it's something that you could see. This is something that someone would do. This is what could potentially happen, and it is one of those things like Wolf Creek or The Strangers or House of the Devil, where it's like someone's going about their everyday life and they do something that completely shifts everything, and oh god, everything went wrong.
I think that's a perfect example of House of the Devil, because like that final 10 minutes of the movie,
oh dude,
so worth the payoff. You're just watching this, the dread and tensions building, and then that final 10 minutes, like, talk about a movie it's like I don't even need to see ever again, because like that was perfect. Like,
I rewatch it every Halloween.
Well, you're a psychopath, Deryk. That's all there is to it. You play with blood for a job,
But it's cool getting to do things that are kind of more rooted in realism like that, because that's what I find scary. I totally agree. Things like Unsolved Mysteries. I mean, watching that stuff growing up, like reruns, obviously, but it gets to you because it's like, okay, this is real. It sounds like it's something that should be in a movie, but this actually happens.
It's why I loved Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
That one as well. I used to watch that.
Oh, with Jonathan Frakes. Is that the one where it's like, which one of these stories was real?
And I could never guess it. I was always wrong every single time.
And like those little shorts, they're well made.
They were.
I don't know anyone that I don't know the names of anyone that was involved with those, but they did a damn good job with what they had.
I had a weird experience one time with that show. I was watching that show, and then I think it was a rerun actually of it, and I was in college at the time, I think, and I went to my college professor the next day. I was like looking at him in class. I was like, this is weird. He looks so familiar. So I went up to him after the thing, and I was like, this is going to sound really weird, but were you ever in a show called Fact or Fiction? And he says, yeah, I was in it. He was like, he was so excited that I had recognized him.
You recognized them.
That's
I've heard like stories of people that played like the bad people in those shows and get the cops called on them. Like some lady will be like, I saw him kill that lady on the TV, and they'll call the cops. Like, he's an actor.
I'll tell you a story. This is the totally true story. This is going to make me sound like such an Unsolved Mysteries nerd. But when I did that movie, the first movie I did with Wingard, Homesick, and Mosley was in it, and I me and Bill kind of hit it off a little bit, and we were sitting there, and he was telling me Karen Black stories, because he House of a Thousand Corpses hadn't come out yet. It was finished, but it was about to come out in the theater, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, should I breach this subject? And I was like, because I imagine Bill's always talking about, has people asking about Texas Chainsaw 2 and Chop Top, and of course at that time Otis wasn't a thing yet. No one knew.
Right.
He'd already done it, but nobody knew it. And or Night of the Living Dead remake. And I was sitting there talking to him. And I was like, so I just had something to ask you about that episode of Unsolved Mysteries where you played the guy who held all the kids hostage in the school and you had a bomb strapped to you, because I remember he was in one of those reenactments.
Yeah.
And I told him the entire story of that, what he had been reenacting. And he sat there and looked at me puzzled, like, how do you know this? And it, like, you know how at the end of the Unsolved Mysteries, it would come up and it would be like, update, you know?
Yeah.
And I even told him what the update was on that segment. Yeah,
what he didn't expect for you was to show you your Robert Stack tattoo that he was not expecting at all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
That is amazing.
In his trench coat. In his trench coat.
Exactly.
Yeah, popped collar and all, man.
And then you're like, this was an undercover sting the whole time.
We got him.
I want a Robert Stack tattoo now, Nate. I think that you're going to get the Danny DeVito's. I'll get the Robert Stacks.
That sounds good.
All right. Well, guys, anything else you guys want to talk about Watchdog here before we wrap up this interview? Because I know we want to get this out this week. So we're recording it, and everyone now is going to be hearing this like a day later, maybe 2 days later.
Very soon.
How quickly I can get this out so we can hit this Indiegogo freight train that is boogieing on. What'd you say? 95% funded already?
96.
96.
Yeah, so we just
how much did you just buy, Nate? Nate's over there clicking. He's like, you're right. I need a poster now. I'm not letting it happen again.
Not again.
Charlie's now an executive producer. Hold on. So anything else you guys want to talk about Watchdog?
Yeah, I mean, just scoot on over there to that Indiegogo and check out all those perks we have on the Watchdog Indiegogo. Things that we talked about tonight, other things we haven't talked about, a lot of signed 8x10s, Zoom parties. You can have Zoom calls with me and Felissa. You can have a Zoom call with me and Cheney, which I can guarantee you that'll be entertaining. We'll play some movie trivia as we tend to do when we're together, and check out all the cool perks. We have perks, it's like we were talking about earlier, from $15 to $1,500. So it's accessible. You know, we want to make it accessible to people.
All right.
There's a little bit of something for everybody on there, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're very transparent about what we do. You know, every single dime it has a place, and you know, because I really want every dime to show up on screen in the movie.
Right.
Nice.
Well, where do you guys have the social medias and stuff set up for the movie yet? Is there a Facebook page and all that stuff? You want to get let everybody know about that?
Go to my Facebook, LC Holt, and you can find a lot of updates on it. There's also a public Watchdog Facebook group that you can find if you search that, or if you just go to my page. It's very easy to find because I link to it on everything. Also, we have an Instagram. You go to my Instagram, find all kinds of updates, and Watchdog has an Instagram too, and you can find it on there.
Perfect.
You can also
put
add
links
me
and all
on
that stuff
Facebook
up.
and Instagram. I share that stuff. I
Derek,
updates a couple times a week, so you know.
Derek's a busy man.
He is. I stumbled into a live stream one day. I was like, "This is fun. I'm just watching Deryk go." He's also got a Judge Death poster behind him. So,
oh my god, I'm so bad about it because I'm like rambling about all this stuff. I forget to mention people's names. I start to stutter, and then I get like self-conscious.
Dude, I don't even know our own podcast email. I have to have Charlie say it every time because I just can't remember it. So.
Yeah,
no, it's that's how it goes sometimes. You know, it's just that's just how it is. But yeah, folks, I mean, check out the Indiegogo. There are, I mean, tons of perks, lots of opportunities to get involved and get yourself some cool merchandise. And you know, like LC said, it's very transparent and very accessible. There's a little bit of something there for everyone. Anything from special thanks 8x10s, original art, producer perks, posters, internships, you name it, we got it. So yeah, definitely check it out and let us know what your favorite perk is. Let us know what you ended up getting, and thank you to all those people who have donated thus far. We want to be making a movie without you.
Yeah, you guys are incredible.
Thank you so much.
I do have one more question.
Oh damn it, Nate.
LC, this is for you.
Okay.
Derek's not allowed to answer it.
Oh jeez.
Does it have to do with Robert Stack? If no, I'm not going to answer.
No, it doesn't. If you had to choose between Shrek 1 and Shrek 2, what do you choose?
All right, you want to know the honest truth?
I do.
I've never seen any of them.
Oh my God, Deryk, you got to make him watch Shrek 1 and 2.
I know. One of these days on set, man, instead of watching Shudder, we're watching Shrek.
Nate's 2 for 3 now.
I am looking forward to the Instagram story update where you just record 15 seconds of the intro. Then I look forward to an hour and a half later where you got the selfie and you're just in tears because it's so beautiful.
LC, he does this every interview, man. I'm sorry, it's his thing. He asked for one thing. I said, name it. It's his perk to be on the show, I guess. He paid his dues. No, it's good. But the last guy we asked, he went, who? So you did good just saying I haven't seen the movies.
I do know some stuff. Like I know that Chris Farley was going to be the original Shrek.
He was, yeah.
I know that a lot of the trivia stuff, but I've never actually seen the movies. So I'm behind
homework.
I'm behind on my animation.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You watch the Shrek movies, I'll watch You're Next. So
there you go.
We'll get caught
there we
up
go.
on
That's
it.
a fair deal. I expect Instagram story updates from everyone involved.
I'll do that. I'll do an Instagram story of me watching You're Next. I have no problem with that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on here.
Guys.
Thank you for having us.
Everyone, please go support this Indiegogo. We're going to wrap up this interview, but you're going to hear future Nate here and me and Nate just in a little bit, and we'll wrap up the show. Thanks.
Definitely.
So, Nate, I think 2 for 3 now.
2 for 3. I'm not good at doing introductions. Like hosting is hard. Podcasting is hard. I'm never the person that even in real life introduces people to people. So doing it in a virtual setting and then it's just you don't want me to do that.
I ask you every time, are
and
you
I'm like,
okay
I can
to
do
do
it.
this?
And then I stumble my words and then I panic. And if I was a turtle, I would hide in my shell for the rest of the podcast.
Well, they won't hear the flub. I'll edit the flub, but I liked how I was at least 5 minutes in the interview before they knew I was there. So, that was fun.
You're welcome. I just assume people know you're there.
Normally, I haven't missed any episodes unlike, someone else on the show right now,
All right. Yep. This is true.
Yep.
Like 99% of the time here.
Yep. If you forget me, I'm gonna forget you. Well, I was saying you're like 2 for 3 on your Shrek question right now.
I am.
Which I think is hilarious.
Don't worry though. Now you have to watch You're Next, and he has to watch Shrek.
I think we both win.
There is no losers here.
No, I don't think LC was disappointed either. He's just like, I've never got around to watching it. And that's the same with me and You're Next. I just haven't got around to watching it.
Now both of you are like, oh, now I have I'm hyped for this. Now people actually.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will do my, if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see the now watching things I like to post. I'll put one up there. It says You're Next. And
beautiful.
I'll do a story up above about me watching it. And,
now that we're officially caught up, we can catch
mustard,
up.
Mayonnaise,
honey mustard.
Oh, that's where we're going.
Barbecue sauce, ranch. These are all condiments that Nate enjoys while watching You're Next, and chicken nuggies,
dino nuggies
specifically.
Yeah. I know. We're just trying to come up with stuff to talk about because the interview's over. We record these intros and outros later.
Thank you for still listening to us just ramble on.
Yeah. No, the only thing I want to say, though, is if you are listening well beyond the Indiegogo campaign and it's done, please go seek out the movie. Please, go watch it, buy it wherever, if it's streaming, if it's available. Please go do that. I mean, it's not just during these campaigns that you're helping. It's the whole life of the movie, supports these guys. And, we'll have others. We got a ton of independent movie creators that are always looking to get the word out. I love being part of these little media blitz. We're the small time, but, we're the media blitz now. They want to come to us and we tell you about all the good stuff
to go to them.
Yeah.
And then we all go together.
Yeah, because it's family. It's family.
Circle
Nate.
of life.
Yeah. It's like Shrek 3 with all the kids and the family.
Yeah, that was Shrek 4.
Oh, which one was Shrek 3?
It was the one with Prince Charming, I think.
See, you can't even remember. I don't feel bad anymore.
It was, yeah, it had Justin Timberlake.
No, then that explains. I don't know.
Prince Charming's the bad guy in part 2.
That's what I thought. I pretty much remembered that in part 2.
He's Arthur, if I remember right. I think he's King Arthur in 3.
Oh, I remember that now.
Yeah.
See, I have seen them, just not probably as much as you or others.
Well, after you watch You're Next, you watch Shrek, and then we invite LC Holt back on. We do a special Shrek edition episode.
Well, like I said, I think once this is another one of those things where we're doing an interview and we haven't seen anything about it. We're that early into it, so I'm actually looking forward to doing a review about the movie.
I'm very excited for it. I can't wait for them to get this bad boy filmed.
Absolutely. I'm also probably going to go binge watch some Unsolved Mysteries. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I will not be sleeping for the next week.
Exactly. I'm going to go see about that Robert Stack tattoo. All right. So, Nate, anything else we need to let everybody know, or are we pretty much ready to wrap this up?
Oh, Charlie, you may have not known this yet, but
no.
You know that other movie that Deryk Wehrley worked on, Late Checkout?
Yeah.
They just dropped a trailer.
No.
You want to share it?
You know what? Why not?
Let's end on Late Checkout, the trailer.
We're so close. Can you just hold it?
No, Jazz, we need to go. Like, I feel so sick right now. No, please pull over.
Just
Please. I feel really cold.
This is why we don't day drink.
Can we hurry it up, please? These roads are making me sick.
I think this is it.
It's beautiful.
Are you guys just gonna sit here and stare at it?
We don't get everyone together all the time. Let's come on. Go get some pizza, have some drinks, just chill out, all right?
So this place is like definitely haunted, right?
I'd be more afraid of like a mountain man hiding underneath the bed or something.
Have you guys ever wanted to kill someone?
Man, that was an amazing trailer. I am hyped for that. I am hyped.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that is going to be killer. All the drone shots are sweet.
All of
We're
the
in
blood.
for some bloody good time.
All of the blood.
It shall be spilled.
We are going to get on those Indiegogo campaigns, Nate. The Give Me Back My Horror Movies blood campaign. Buckets of blood.
Every time you click on that, it just goes straight to the blood.
That's it, man. I want
to
to cost per ounce, Deryk. That's all I need. And then that's our minimum, that people can put in. And every time you put that minimum in, that's an ounce of blood. And that adds up fast.
It will.
All right, Nate. They're tired of listening to us. So why don't you get us out of here on the good word?
I'll be back. Wait, no, that's yours.
That's the other show.
Oh, wait.
Too late. Hitting the button.
Now, let's talk about how I get back home.